We are at a very exciting time of year when a lot of people are really taking a closer look and thinking, what do I want to accomplish this year? And it's a great time to do that, to think back and think, where am I now? Where would I like to be later on in the year? What are my goals? What's missing in my life? What are my dreams? So I would like to help all of you make this year the year you hit your best life, you create your best life, your happiest life, your most successful life. And as you all know, dreams don't just occur. You don't just wake up and say, oh, my happiest life is right here. The best way to have your best life, your happiest life, is not to sit back and wait for it, not to live a default life and wait randomly for things to happen, but actually step by step by step, create exactly what you want so you know where you're going. And I'm so excited for all of you because this is something that really works. I am going to help you create your blueprint today to create your best life, your happiest life, your most successful life. So sit back, and this is going to be a program where I'd really like you to participate and work. I hope that you will have a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil or a computer or somewhere to take some notes. This is really exciting. We are going to talk about 8 key areas of life, and I am going to help you do an assessment, an evaluation of where you are and how you're feeling in each area, and most importantly, where you want to go. So most often, people just randomly think, well, what are my goals in life? And they think of goals, and they don't really come up with a blueprint, a map of how you're going to get there. And then people go at the end of the year and think, well, what have I accomplished? And people's New Year's resolutions and goals tend to be the same again and again. And I want you to really learn the system of implementing steps and learning how to create your best life. So I want to welcome everybody here. I see Eileen here. Eileen, I am so delighted to see you here. And Eileen always shares her hearts with us and her spirit with us. And I am so happy to see you here. I'm happy to see all the people here and the loving community that we have together. So I am so happy and excited because what I'd like to do again is help you build and create your best life so that in 2025, you'll say, this was my year. This was the year I did it. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like to invite you to take a piece of paper and make a big circle on it. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to have you make a big circle and put 2 lines across. So divide your circle into 4. And then I'm going to have you take each circle and make a line across there. So you're going to have 8 little areas, 8 little sectors. I have some additional circles. Ignore that so far. But you've made 1 line vertically, 1 line across, and again divided each of those. So you'll have 8 little areas in your circles. And then I'm going to have you imagine circles, or you can draw circles in, so that in each of these areas you can rate on a scale of 1 to 10. Imagine 10 circles coming out here. And I will explain that more as we go along. But again, I want to do a full assessment, a full evaluation with you, as I do with my clients when they start working with me. I'm going to share with you exactly how I start with them, and one of the important exercises that I start with many of them who are interested in this particular area. So the first area and we're going to do a full assessment. The first area on top that we're going to evaluate in your life is your work and your career. So I want you to consider, and Eileen wrote a comment, I love learning ideas from you. It's precious. Thank you, Eileen. And I really love giving you ideas, everybody here, to make an impact in your life, for your work, for your family, and for yourselves, because happiness and success is where to be. There's nothing that should hold you back. There are no obstacles if you have plans to get past them. And that's the mindset that I want you to have. There are no obstacles. You can cross past any obstacles to create happiness, to create success. It's a matter of knowing where you are and having a method and a process similar to what we're going to talk about so that you can get to your best life. And as Eileen wrote, living the best life in 2025. Thank you. Thank you. I love when people are understanding and joining in. Again, our community is so important to me. So that first segment that I showed you, we're going to talk about work. How happy are you with your work? And I'm going to ask you to estimate that on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is really minimal and 10 is you're in your dream job. So I want you to think about your work and the different parts of work that either make you happy or not happy. Maybe it's the hours on your mind, or maybe your title and your responsibility. Maybe it's the income from your work or benefits. And it's most likely a combination of the above. And what are your long-term goals for work? You may be working in something now that is not consistent with your long-term goals for a number of reasons. Many women, when their kids are young, aren't able or don't want to take on a full level of responsibility, and some do. But if you're not in your dream job now, what are you doing to create the steps to create a record so you'll be able to write on your CV, on your resume, your experience, what you've done, what you've accomplished, so that you're on your pathway to your dream job? What about the field of work you're in? Are you in the field of work that you ultimately want to be in long-term for your dream job? Or is there a different area that you want to train for that you really ultimately would like to work in? So, on number 1, on work and career, I want you to score it on a scale of 1 to 10. And I want you to draw a line. You can label this work and career if you want. So if your number is 8, you would draw a line around here. If your number is number 5, you would draw a line around here. And that is the first of 8 segments. So let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is your home. And let's talk about the physical environment of your home. We'll talk about your family soon. But let's talk about your physical environment of your home. What about your location? Are you living where you want to be living? What about the space that you have, the rooms and space? Are you living in a place that is where you want to be living? That's your dream home. That's enough space for you and your family. What about the organization in your home, your closets and cabinets and storage, the way you keep things? Do you have a lot of clutter, or is everything in its place? What about where you live and your access to, do you have a backyard if that's important to you and family, or close access to a park or a playground? So again, we're talking about the physical aspects of your home. And I want you to score that again on a scale of 1 to 10. And so this is going to be your next segment, your home. And if it's a 7, it will be here. If it's a 9, it would be here. If it's a 3, it would be further down here. So I'd like you to score that. And some people, by the way, will listen to this as I'm doing it live, or if you're watching it on replay, some people will go through this a few times and take it slowly so that you really score and think about what's important to you in these categories. But let's move on now to number 3, and that is family. So I want you to think about your family, people you live with most likely. If there's a partner and a spouse, your relationship. What about your children and your relationship with children? What are their milestones and what are their needs? And do you feel empowered to help them? And we all know relationships can be valuable in our lives. They can really lift us up. They can be uplifting. And they can also at times be stressful. So I want you to think about, and this is going to be the third segment of your circles. So the third segment, I want you to score on a scale of 1 to 10. Your family, how happy, how satisfied, how fulfilled do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? And again, if you need time to go back and replay this later, you can do that. But I usually tell people the first number that comes to mind for you is probably the right one. So let's move on. The next number that we're going to evaluate, the next category we're going to evaluate is your community. So what about the people outside your home that are important to you? Your friends, maybe your parents or siblings or in-laws, people who are close to you. Maybe coworkers or colleagues who are close to you. Maybe you're involved in organizations, community organizations in your area. Maybe a religious organization. What is your community? And again, we all know relationships are really important to us. We learned during COVID that feeling isolated didn't feel good, being home, feeling alone. And so community is really important to us. So I'd like you to go to that next segment and score on a scale of 1 to 10 and draw a line. Number 4, community. How important is community to you? And how successful, how happy do you feel in community, in your community? Number 5 is going to be self-care and fun and hobbies. So what do you do to renew your energy, to revamp, to keep your stress level down and keep your energy up? Self-care is really important, and it's an area that busy women often overlook, devalue, and deprioritize because we're often prioritizing our family members, our kids, our community, our work, our boss, our coworkers, and we very often will deprioritize our own needs. So I want you to think about, what are your activities for self-care? Is it meditation or journaling or exercise or yoga? And what do you do? Do you really prioritize that? Do you do these activities regularly? What are your hobbies? What is fun for you? What is fun time? And that's really important. And again, on number 5, I want you to score that on a scale of 1 to 10 and draw across that area your number. Number 6 is personal growth. So what are areas that you'd like to learn more about? Is there a musical instrument that you'd like to learn to play or learn more to play? Is there a type of art that you'd like to be involved with? Or a sport that's important to you? Would you like to learn a foreign language? Or for personal growth, are you interested in learning some type of certification that will help you in your work in the future? Do you want to learn various skills? So I want you to think about your personal growth and how far are you moving forward. And I want you again to score that on a scale of 1 to 10. Draw a line in your personal growth. How satisfied, how successful do you feel? And the next one, number 7, is health. What's going on in your health? Do you have any medical issues or concerns? Are you feeling tired? Is your energy down? Or are you nice and healthy? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your health level? Is it a 10? Are you totally fine? Or are you feeling run down? Are you having medical problems? Are you scoring more like a 4 or a 5 or a 6? So I want you to draw a line. Again, if you need to think about these or write information down to keep it in mind, I would like you to keep in mind what's important. And the next one is finances. I want you to think to yourself, what is your situation and status financially? Are you where you want to be financially in life at this point? How successful are you in monitoring and building your financial goals? How successful are you in monitoring your expenses and keeping your expenses limited to the extent that you can? And watching your income, and perhaps how you're investing your money. So these are all issues in finances. And again, I'd like you to score on your circle for finances from 1 to 10. And the next area I want you to think about is what we call spirituality. What raises your spirit? What keeps you excited and energized in spirituality? For some people, it can be related to self-care. Many activities can help raise our spirit. For some people, it's prayer and religion and faith that makes them feel spiritually strong and uplifted. And there are many things that can keep us feeling uplifted. And I'd like you to think about that. And the last one, number 10, I want you to think about what success you have. This last category is really stress management. Life is full of challenges and stresses that we don't know are going to happen, and unexpected events that happen. How resilient are you? How empowered do you feel when those situations happen? And do you feel you need to learn skills better to bounce back when you have issues happening to you? Or do you feel really skilled and really resilient? So I'd like you to score that on a scale of 1 to 10. So we just went through 10 categories, and here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to now look at your wheel, and you can look at how the spokes go in your wheel. And I want you to think, if this was a wheel on a bicycle or a car, would your ride be bumpy? Are they uneven and are they deflated? Ultimately, we would like a nice, full, aerated wheel. And that would mean that you are living your best life. And there's no reason not to be living your best life. The key, the blueprint, the map is to identify areas where you have needs, and then to start creating goals within those areas step by step, and build step by step to expand your horizons, to expand the numbers where you are, so that you can feel more empowered and more in control of your ability to reach your best life. So no matter how far back you may feel in any of these numbers, there are always steps that we can create to move you forward. And that is what I want to encourage you to do. This is really a full scope assessment and evaluation. And what I'd like you to do is really move forward with this. I would hate for you to come here and say was a really interesting exercise, and now I'm going to forget about it and go back to life as it was. What I want to do is really excite you and energize you to move forward and say, you know what? I want my wheel to be more full. I want a round wheel. I want my best life. I want my happiest life. I want my most successful life. So, and there are a few ways that you can do that. In some cases, you may be able to say to yourself and write down, and I encourage you all to write some information. You may be able to write down and say, these are the goals simply that I need to take, and these are the steps that will lead me along in these goals. And then you will have a map, a blueprint of how you're going to create and get to your best life. Now, for a lot of people, there are a lot of goals involved and a lot of steps. And having somebody help you create your blueprint and figure out what are the steps that will yield your best efforts, that will yield the best results. What are the priorities? How can I stay on this pathway? A lot of people feel they can use help, and they'd like help, and they want help so that they know they can stay on track. Because again, very often when we do these ourselves, we fall off track and we forget about ourselves. We're so busy with other work. If you're working with a mentor, that often helps people stay on track. And when you have a question, when you have an issue, you always have somebody to go to say, hey, I'm having a difficulty in this area. What do I do to get back on track? Again, my goal for you is 3 months from now, I want to go back quarterly with you. I'd like you to go back and say, I am reaching incredible heights in my life that I didn't think I could reach. I want you to be able to look back where you started and know how much you've accomplished. And I want you to keep taking steps. We're going to do quarterly assessments. And of course, in between, I'm going to give you trainings in our group. Whether or not you work with me, I will have trainings here as I've been doing each week on various skills that can help you in these areas. So I will have a personal productivity topic coming up, a time management topic coming up, essential habits that can help you reach goals, a goal setting and goal reaching program. I have so many topics coming up, so I encourage you to come weekly in our group and daily in our group as well to check in. I am so excited for you that you are here, because I know that's the first commitment to make, to get this evaluation and assessment done, and then to move forward and to see that you're making progress and building your best life, because you have a system now. It's not like you're wondering how or when can I ever do this. It's like, now is the time to do this. Now you're moving forward. This is your year. So again, I'm congratulating you for your commitment, for being here, for being in our group with like-minded people who, like you, are excited about reaching goals and reaching your best life. I would be happy to speak to you and discuss with you how I might be able to help you reach your best life in this year and build those success stories. I will put my calendar, the link to my calendar, in the comments in our group. You can find my calendar in the description of our group. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe so that you will get access to all of my programs when they come out. And please hit like if you like this. If you are in Facebook, make sure you come regularly on Sunday nights so that you can get all of the trainings. And I hope that you will, if you are interested in working and if this makes sense to you, that you will find an appointment in my calendar before it clogs up. I know that this week will get very crowded and people will get excited about scheduling appointments. So if you're interested, make sure you get in and schedule an appointment. Feel free to listen to this program again if you'd like, to really work on your assessment. And I look forward to seeing you in future programs here and to speaking to you personally. Again, let's make this year the year you say, I have done it, my dream life.